What's up, Airsofters? Today we're going to be talking about the settings that I use on my RunCam scope cams. Either one of them, my RunCam 2 or my RunCam scope cam, both of which are the 4K edition. We're going to start with the connection to the camera. Power your cameras on. Well, usually. There it goes. Power your camera on. This little button right here, press it one time. Little blue light should pop up, and there's your Wi-Fi indicator. Go to settings, look for your Wi-Fi. Mine is already pre-named. Connect to it. Then go to your RunCam app, which you can download on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It's a free app, doesn't cost anything, and it connects you straight to your camera. You can actually see that I can see things through it. You can do a little preview like you got it set up on your gun. One of the first things you want to check is your resolution and frame rate. Mine is set to 2.7K at 60 frames. You can go to 4K at 30, which is not true 4K, but it's close enough. Then you've got 1080, which gives you a lot of other options, but I would either record in 2.7K at 60, or I would go to 1080 at 60. I would not go any more than that because YouTube does not accept any higher frame rates than 60. Go to your main settings in the top right corner. If you play at night, turn your main video light off. So it turns off everything on your camera, whether your battery indicator, your camera on, all that kind of stuff, turns all of that off. Now on the rear of the camera, you still have a light, an indicator light here and an indicator light here. One to let you know you're recording and one to let you know your camera is on. So even if you are running at night, you can still see that your camera is on and recording. Personally, I run mine off because I play at nighttime too often and I don't always remember to turn the camera lights off. You can turn your date stamp on or off. I personally have mine off because I don't want the date stamp in either the top left or the bottom right corner. Your auto shutdown, turn that thing off because you could be in the middle of a game and you may not be recording for 2 or 3 minutes. The max counter on your auto shut off is 5 minutes. It's 1, 3, and 5. You don't want to have that on in the game, especially if you just stop for a minute trying to save storage space. Yeah, it'll cut off and you won't be able to turn it on and then continue playing quick enough. You'll either lose the fight or you'll think you turned the record button, hit the record button, and it's already off. The feedback beep, also something that you don't want to have, especially at night, but just in games in general. This is a personal preference. When you turn your beeps on and you hit buttons, your camera will make a loud beep, which is fine if it's really busy and you don't mind being heard. I turn mine off. The power supply frequency, you'll have to look at your specific power banks to figure out what the frequency of your power bank is, because if your power bank is at a 60 hertz and you're running at 50, it will not register your device onto the power bank, and into the power banks, if it's got an auto shut off, it will cut itself off. On the audio, do not make the same mistake I did. I was like, I don't need the audio, I'll save space. Yeah, no, don't do that. You want the audio for syncing up your shots and what's going on in the editing program. Auto record, that's another personal preference. It's up to you. If you want to, as soon as you turn the camera on and it starts recording, that's perfectly fine. The loop recording, don't even worry about it. It has nothing to do with anything airsofters use it for, in my personal opinion. The Wi-Fi setting, that is how you name your camera, so that way if there's a bunch of you in a group, you can always pick yours out. Then the memory card storage, this is proof that you can run a higher card than a 128 in this camera. I run a 256. The reason it doesn't say 256 is because you have to have room allotted for your files and other things like that. Always format your cards before you start recording. Always. For 2 reasons. 1, there may be something on there taking up your recording time and you don't notice it. And 2, it reallocates your storage spaces and creates your files where it stores everything like it's supposed to. So that way you're less likely to have corrupted files. You come back out here and you want to adjust your image. Now this is the more pro side of things. I would not do anything to your image if you don't want to go back through and do color corrections. If you're just wanting to plug it in, cut it and plug it into your video, then don't mess with it, because it gives you a pretty solid image. But if you want to get a little more in depth and do into the color correcting of your videos and stuff, then this is my recommended setup. Go to your exposure and go all the way down to -1. Go to your saturation, all the way to 1, all the way to the bottom. Your ISO, leave it on auto. Your shutter, leave it on auto. Your contrast, come down to 4. Your sharpness, all the way down. All the way down to 1. Your white balance, depending on the event, will determine whether or not you leave your white balance on auto or if you leave it on sunny, cloudy, incandescent light, or what is that? Yeah, incandescent and fluorescent lighting. Personally, I usually leave mine on sunny. Every now and then I'll change it if it's super cloudy. If I know it's going to be cloudy all day, I'll leave it on cloudy, but I would much rather have it set to sunny, so that way when the clouds do leave and I get sunlight, it's not messing up my image. If you're in and out of a lot of buildings, like I said, it's personal preference if you want to do the auto white balance. It's up to you as the creator. Spot metering, you're going to want to have that thing on medium, because if you have it in the very center, the pattern is so tight that you can miss a lot. Like if you have it on one bright spot and you're in a dark room, then the whole room is going to go dark to where you can see that one white spot. So have it a little wider, but you don't want it all the way out to the widest metering, because you could be looking through a doorway or a window and you want to see through the doorway or window, and it brightens the room up so much that you can't see out of the room. So you want that medium or center weighted, as it's called here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do. It's super simple, nothing to it. Just experiment. You can just plug in these settings and you will get a great image for color correcting. Don't touch this part if you don't want to do the color correction, because it gives you a really good image otherwise. Yeah, this is Pack Mule, and I'm signing out. See you guys. Also, don't forget, subscribe, comment, like the video. Also, share. That's helping me get my name out and to give this good information to other airsofters that are trying to record. Y'all have a good one.